Yes, everybody, Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe and well. Happy match day afternoon. And it's live as we play SC Freiburg in the Europa League. Last 16, first leg tonight, 8 p.m. kickoff in the UK. Obviously, we're playing over in Germany. Loads of videos, loads of tweets, photos of everyone who's managed to get out there, having a good old beer. Obviously, we couldn't play. The fans weren't supposed to be out there for last time when we played Freiburg in the group stages, and so they're all taking advantage of that, albeit via some quite strange means in terms of planes, trains, and automobiles. It does seem, but that's what traveling away is all about, isn't it? And hopefully we'll have some stuff from Jamie. He's out there doing some stuff for the club. As if you're watching Instagram, he's doing the stuff with his Instagram sort of account holder for West Ham for this game. He's out there, so we'll try and get him to do a few bits and send some stuff over for the watch along later on. We'll have the starting 11 show as well. That's going to be 5, 6 o'clock-ish, something like that. And then we'll have the watch along for the game, and then obviously a debrief session afterwards. And then tomorrow, most likely ratings, press conference for the Burnley game, and then starting on the Burnley game. So obviously that's on the Sunday. Don't forget it's Mother's Day on Sunday. So unfortunately, you can't be spending it with your mother. You'll have to be watching West Ham at the London Stadium. Mrs. Bunn's she's going out already, so it doesn't really matter. I got away with it this year. I was a bit panicky. I'll be honest, a bit panicky. Because I thought they'd change the game. Obviously, next weekend, next Sunday is the Aston Villa game as well. So it's another game that's been pushed back a day. But yeah, she said, I'm really sorry. I've got Nancy Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. You know, some of the mums are. Oh, that's a shame. Damn it! Damn! Can't have Mother's Day together. Anyway, Flo is equally upset. We've got the chat. Danny, hope you're well. Alex is in the chat. Alex on Tuesdays is Alex's TikTok takeover. There we go. I've managed to say it. The Tuesday TikTok takeover with Al, and go check him out on TikTok. West Ham fan 86. Cyril, hope you're well. Morning, Andy. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, I'm very well, mate. Very well. Lawrence is here from Lexington, Kentucky, with the Colonel. Guten Tag, indeed. Afternoon apprehensive about. Are you apprehensive, Michael? I don't know how I feel, to be honest. I don't know. It's a strange situation, knowing that we've beaten this side twice already this season, and but then we beat Arsenal twice, didn't we? And then look what happened. So we can't take anything for granted. Toby's in the chat. Nice to see. Exited or what? Did you mean excited? Afternoon. Come on, you irons. Would love to take a big lead into next week. Me too. We're obviously fortunate in that because we won the group stage. We play, it was sort of predetermined. We play the second leg at home, which I think so much better. I look back at those sort of, particularly the Europa League run. That Sevilla match at London Stadium was incredible. And I don't think the Lyon game or the Eintracht Frankfurt game had the same vavavoom in terms of the London Stadium tie, because it was almost, because it both was the first leg. So it was like half time, really. Whereas that Seville game, you knew what you had to do to get through. Loved it. I'm going to put a 10 on Bowen.
Could you try again?
Shush. I'm going to put a 10 on Bowen, 1-0, assisted by Kudus. Afternoon. It's my birthday today. Happy birthday. Hope you had a good one, Stuart. 21 again, never been kissed. No away goals aren't in effect anymore at all now, I don't believe. Is their squad any different from when we played them? We're going to talk a bit about them. What's happened since we last played them. We're going to go into that in a little bit of detail, show them the form, stuff like that. And so, you're sort of up to speed. Husey, you got your Clive Allen picture. Good. We might do some more stuff tonight at half time in the watch along. So make sure if you are watching us for the watch along, stay at half time. Even if you're watching someone else, if you're watching Charlie at Hammers, come over here at half time, because you might win something, as per usual. It is indeed 5:45 kickoff in the UK. Absolute joke. No, away goals don't count anymore. You're right. Good morning to Lee from Brunswick. GA, is that Georgia? Am I being stupid? Yeah, it must be, isn't it? Is it Georgia? Brunswick? GA, I think it is, isn't it? Brunswick, Brunswick, USA. Georgia, a city in Georgia, not the Brunswick in Maine. Big thanks, my rate. Oh, there we go, Michael. You got, see, I told you. I sent them all out. Although I've still got the next ones from this week, from last week to send out. But regardless of that, fancy could win tonight on the back of two good forms, and they're struggling for form. They are, Danny. Cheers, Scott. Hope you're well. Let's talk about it. Morning, Harold Hill. I've been called a lot worse. morning Hornchurch, or morning sort of Hornchurch / Emerson Park. Right, let's have a look at some stats. Let's see where we are. So this is the correspondent. We've both played 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've both played 11 games since we last played each other. Obviously with the international breaks and all the other stuff, AFCONs and stuff like that. And you see, actually, they've had, as someone said, he's in terms of their run of form, they haven't had a great run of form. They haven't won in the last 6, losing 4 and drawing 2. Obviously, one of those draws being against Bayern Munich, who they played at home on Friday. So they've had an extra day's rest than us. And they took the lead, and then 2 quick goals from Bayern Munich, and then they equalised in the 87th minute, I believe. And so that was Holler scored. But you see, not the best run. Obviously, we had a good run. Then we had we won 3, drew 3, lost 3, and hopefully we'll win 3 as well, and hopefully be more than 3. So I didn't even look at that, but look at the order. It's really weird, that, isn't it? Yeah, they do ship goals, but they do score them as well. Frankfurt, they beat 5-2 at tail end of the year. But yeah, when they tend to get beaten, they tend to be a few goals they get put past them. But got beaten by Augsburg indeed in their previous game. So in terms of their current form, that's where they are in the league at the moment. So they're currently 9th with 30 points after 24 games, played 1-8. They've drawn 6, lost 10, and they've got a -12 goal difference. So it's an average season for them. Nothing too make great to write home about, to be honest. And in terms of their form, that's their form guide. They've lost 3, drawn 2 in the last 5. We lost 3, and then we've won 2. So yeah, we've played about 3 games more than them already this year or this season in the league. We're on 27 games. They played 24. We got 42 points, and we're at -4 now. That's quite impressive. It says, does it say -2? Sorry, -12. Yeah, -12. -2. What graphic? What graphic? Minus what? I'm confused. What? No, it doesn't. Look, -12. -12 goal difference. It says there, Freiburg. Anyway, it's it is right. That was on Google. That was on Google. Google can't be wrong. Bundesliga. I'm going to check. Let me check on the thing now. Bundesliga, Freiburg -12. It is -12. So they have a -12 goal difference. Does Freiburg? So yeah, I mean, form guide. You've got to look at the game thinking there's, you've got to be more confident. Let's think positively. West Ham away win. Augsburg's -2, indeed, yes. Exactly. Did Kiddu's play when we beat them? I can't remember. Let me have a quick goosey gander. Let's go back to the last games we played. Obviously, we played them twice already this season. Freiburg, is it under F or is it under S? Let me have it. Is it SC Freiburg or is it under Freiburg? It's SC Freiburg. Where is it? Okie dokie. So the last time we played them, let's open up both of these. So we've got both of the tabs. We played them at home. Kudus did start and scored. He did score. We obviously won 2-0 with an Edson Alvarez goal. Was it Edson Alvarez? Yep. Edson Alvarez and Mohamed Kudus both scoring. And minutes for a lesser spotted Maxwell Cornet, who is not on the side. He hasn't travelled. He has got another injury. What a surprise. When we played them at Freiburg back in October, we had Kudus wasn't in that side. We won 2-0, 2-1 rather, with goals from Lucas Paquetas, no one better than our Brazilian Magnifico, and Naya Figuered. So again, minutes for the likes of Divine and Barmer. We had Tilakira playing left back. Do you remember? We had Tilakira playing left back. Fornals started. Oh, Pablo Fornals. Do you remember him? Sorry, Kudus did play. Sorry, my apologies. Kudus did play that first game. That was sort of him still getting into the side, if you remember. It was like a 4 draw. Both teams can't defend. Indeed. One positive for me is that it's going to be on telly. Indeed, and you can just put the telly on, mute it, put the watch along on. See what I'm doing there? I think Kudus was troubled with his pace. I'll leave work early. We're watching a Smith Hall in a New York in Manhattan. Know it well, Harry. Good luck, mates. Good luck to all the New York Hammers there. Great bunch of lads. 1 p.m. for me. I'm in meetings. Oh, Scott. Although it will be. Will it be 1 p.m. for you? Will it? Oh, you mean no? You mean next week? Next week's 1 p.m. This week is 8 o'clock UK time, so it's 3 p.m. your time. It's next week where it's 5:45 kickoff in the UK, so it'll be very much lunchtime where you are, mate. Between Cornet's injury and Moyes not rating him, it's been a bad signing. There was some hype when we saw. Yeah, it was because I know what you mean. There was hype. I was excited because you think about he was a shining light for a Burnley side which didn't perform in the Premier League particularly well. He was like the best of the bad bunch, but it hasn't worked out for him. I think sometimes injuries, sometimes the right club, sometimes we don't know who. We don't know in terms of the signing who sanctioned it. We've known in previous times if a signing has been done without the manager's knowing or without the manager's final say so, which happened before under our current ownership. In under previous managers, less likely to play him. Maybe he got that really weird injury, didn't he? Which only a doctor has only seen once in 25 years or something like that. And by then, you think the position he was playing, the likes of Kudus, Bowen, Paqueta, Fornals at the time, Ben Rama at the time, he was like 5th choice, really. Now he's back to 4th choice. But they'll still put Ben Johnson there instead of him. Don't get it. Afternoon, Stefan. Hope you're well from sunny Somerset or Arties. Exactly what I'll be doing. Just junk food, Monster, and West Ham Network. In that order, I hope. I don't get Monster. I'm a Red Bull man. I'll be honest. I'm a Red Bull man. It's the Red Bull Zero, sugar-free. Red Bull's sugar-free. Rather than Red Bull's sugar-free. I like that. Monster just can't get into. Maybe there's so many flavours. I don't know. £3 for me. I'll catch it. You're out west? Sorry, Scott. For some reason, I didn't realise you was West Coast. Are you West Coast in Canada? I thought you was the others. I thought you was the other side. Sorry, I do apologise. Moyes didn't rate Benny either, and now he's flourishing for Lille. He isn't. I'll be honest, Matt. He isn't. He's had a couple of good games and a couple of shit games as well. Very similar to his West Ham career, in all honesty. He got dragged off the other week. They lost 3-0 against Lens in terms of the last game, and he got dragged off because he wasn't quite doing it. Lyon is not the Premier League. You're totally right. It isn't. And Lyon are currently like mid-table of Ligue 1 at the moment. Does Tim need to sign 10 players at 10 million each to get the squad back in numbers? With so many likely to leave. Well, I mean, obviously we did a show this morning about that, talking specifically about the likes of Tilakira, mentioning him. Obviously, he played left back, didn't he? When we played him at Freiburg in October last year. But he apparently, according to Sport Blin, has already done the criteria that hit the milestones to make his deal to Monaco from a loan to a permanent signing. They signed him on a loan with obligation to buy, and accordingly, it had relatively loose, very easy to achieve targets in order to convert that into an obligation. And apparently that's been met already. So, so though he's a bit sheepish, he really knows what's going on, to be honest. But there's that. There was talking about Aaron Cresswell, maybe giving an option of a coaching role. I don't really believe that, I'll be honest, because I think he still wants to play. And then the Flynn Downs about him. And then obviously then we've spoken about the contracts. We've got Obama situation. We've got the Ben Johnson situation. Both, will be out of contracts in the summer. Plus you've got the likes of Soufal. We haven't officially announced the extension to his contract because I don't know why. Technically as well, Antonio, we haven't officially announced his new contract, although we're led to believe he's been offered a new deal. Then there's Ogbonna as well. So, that's before we even start selling players like Paqueta maybe, or Ben Rama, makes that deal permanently maybe to Leon. So there's a lot. And then the fact is the manager's out of contract as well. So Christ knows, it's going to be. That's why you got to make sure you are signed up and you are fully plugged into the West Ham network this summer, because it's going to be one hell of a ride. That's for sure. That is for sure. Doesn't matter through Lewis. He's striving. He's playing all right. Wouldn't say he's like. I think we've seen the best of Ben Rama. Ben Rama's like 29 now, so he's going to be. He might have a little renaissance for half a season, but I think you've seen, we were all willing Ben Rama to become the world beater that we thought he was going to be, but maybe just didn't have the application. The fact is, he wasn't even called up to the Algerian squad for the AFCONs, and that shows you quite a lot, because I think he's still a very tricky, a good player, but if the Algerian boss wasn't going to take him on, then a bit strange that was. I'm a Lucas. I personally drinks too sweet with sugars. Russ, Kira, Kira's doing great jobs. I think he's more suited to the, obviously, Liga. He knows well, having his time at Paris Saint-Germain, and Monaco playing well. I mean, again, he's played in about 3 or 4 different positions during his loan spell. He's played right back, he's played right centre back, left centre back. I think he's played right for back 3 as well. I don't know if he's played left back just yet, but he can do. So it's a no-brainer, and obviously we'll make our money back and a bit of profit on top of him. Same with Flynn Downs. I think Flynn was 12 million. I think Tilo was 11 million. So you'd like to think, I don't know what the price is set though for Tilo, because that would have been set in the obligation to buy. So I imagine it'll be sort of not massively, I don't think it'll be 15 million, but I think it'll be sort of 12, 13 million. I think that was what it was set at. I don't know exactly, I'll be honest. With Flynn, I think you'd probably sell him for 15 to Southampton. They get promoted maybe. Lawrence is like me, he's a rebel man, but only the drink. Only the drink. Not the F1 side. Not the F1 side. Still Mercedes man. Still Mercedes man. Well, that might change because I'm a big Lewis Hamilton fan. So might change. Might have to don the red of Ferrari next year. Looking forward to that. If you haven't seen it, the new Drive to Survive is at Netflix is out, and it's absolutely brilliant. Because it's always a season behind, what's going to happen, and what's happening in the summer. So the fact that Lewis Hamilton's going to be signing for Ferrari next season. So, and obviously West Ham have got some representation in the F1. We've had Crofty on here, David Croft, then the club had him, but we had him on here first. Martin Brundle's a big West Ham fan as well. Not a big West Ham, but a West Ham fan. Both Benny and excellent Euro, but not too much of the Premier League. Barry, I'm well. I hope you are too, mate. I hope you're looking forward to a bit of the old European football, and it's back and it's live. PSG side league is on par with a low-end Premiership. Should be world-class in that league and not instead proving I was right. Totally agree, Danny. Totally agree. You're about right there, mate. I think. How much funds do you think we'll have available for the summer rebuild? I have absolutely no idea. I would assume we've got a decent kitty from the, because we didn't buy one in January and we were looking to buy people. So we'll have that. We'll also have money for the likes of Tilo, money for Ben Rama, obviously the small 8 million, whether it was 10 million, was for 4 nows. If we sold Paqueta, if we sold Flynn Downs, so I reckon we've got a fair bit, plus the European money as well. We make a lot more money in the Europa League than we do in the Conference League. I think we made something like, I think it was like 20 million by winning the Conference League, and I think we make that already through the group stages before we even sort of for participation. So we make a lot more money. It just shows you how much money is in the Champions League. It's ridiculous. Our star suits European games as long as we don't draw an English club. Totally true. Irish Tommy's in the house. He's not going to Tipperary today. It's a long way to go, but he's not off to Tipperary by the sounds of it. He might be. He might be texting us on the way. I hope you're not driving and texting, Tommy. Johnson needs to be signed. He's a proven Premier League. It'd be silly to go. Let's not forget how upset everyone was when Dean Garner left. When Dean Garner left, and we signed him for £19 million, and he did fuck all since. So I think that was a fucking deal. It was a real hoo-ha from from the fan base. And Nobes, they remote Nobes to Twitter, which is very unusual. And that's proven to be an absolute brilliant decision by the club. So credit where credit's due, that one. The others we have to wait and see. I mean, I can't think of one who's left, one of the academy players who's left and proved us wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's not saying, you look at most recent ones. I mean, I did a whole slide about it before. I think it was like Sonny Perkins and Ashby and Syed Haksbadanovic and Armstrong Okaflex, and maybe Pierre Guam, maybe. I imagine he'll go to Palace or someone like that if Michael Oisi goes to Man City, or Eze moves on. He's a very, very ready-made. Elise, possibly. They're playing on a championship. Yes, the likes of Reece Burke and stuff are playing in the Premier League for Luton. Josh Cullen, who we welcome back on Sunday with Burnley. But I wouldn't say we've had not in recent times. I liked Benny, but he was with McCarthy and Pyatt by the end. Yep, fair play. Johnson's not a kid. There's a Prem wage, not asking for fortunes. We'll need 3 players to replace him. That's why, and I agree with you, and with Hal as well. I think it's a big mistake. If he wants to stay here, and I think okay. If he wants to stay here, if he doesn't want to stay here, I'd rather him go and get first team football elsewhere, because you don't want a player who's not willing to stay. And if he stays for the money, for me, that's not the right attitude, although it is their job. So I understand that. But yeah, I think he plays in, he's played in about 5 different positions this year already. And you need that, as you said, probably about at least 3 players to replace him. In terms of, he's second right back. He's probably second or third left back. He's about 4th or 5th choice centre half. He's about 3rd choice CDM. He's about 3rd choice left wing. He's about 3rd choice right wing. So, was the right starting 11? With the right starting 11 tactics, we'll win this 3-0. I've put down my starting 11. We'll be putting out later on. So, let us know in the comments later on at 5 o'clock, because that will help the algorithm rather than do it in live chat. In terms of how that's going to be set up, because obviously people will have, because Moyes made quite an interesting point for once in the press conference when he said that he was looking to get West Ham back into Europe again via the league. So that to me shows there's a bit more emphasis on the league than maybe it was last year. So I think there's going to be a balancing act, really. There's going to be, obviously, we want to progress in the Europa League. I don't think we'll win it, I'll be honest. I think there's better teams than us, but you never know with a draw. Draw could be a funny thing. If we end up playing Leverkusen or Liverpool in the final, there's a chance. It's a one-off game. Anything is possible. However, I think if we met them in a semis or the quarters, I think we probably would come a bit unstuck, in all honesty. And so, you don't want to put your eggs in that basket. I think you want to put your eggs in your Premier League basket. But we know the likes of Fabianski will be in. I expect a couple will be given a rest anyway, because, they played a couple of 2-game weeks recently. Like Zuma, I don't think Zuma will feature at all. But we'll see. We'll probably have 100 million. Yep. And we'll sell, maybe. I'd start Arieli's in brilliant form. It could be difference between a good result. Yeah, fair play, Irish Tommy. Yeah, maybe. But would I rather I know it's would I rather? I totally understand that, and you're probably right. Actually, he will play Fabianski. You know that because he's his cup keeper, and we'll have him back in the sticks for the Burnley game. But yeah, you're probably right. That's interesting to see. Excited to see the team. Yeah, I am too. I'm looking forward to the game tonight. My missus got me an Overland CT shirt for Valentine's Day, and she's a beauty. So I'll be wearing that proud. Are you talking about a t-shirt or your missus? The right answer is both. The kitty will depend who we finish. Indeed, relaxing on my couch. We'll see you at 10 p.m. for the Late Show. Tomorrow. Yes. About to say, I'm a day ahead, Tom. Freiburg are better than Bristol City. I hope we take this game very seriously. I think we will do. I personally don't think it'll be our route back to Europe this year. I think our best chance is in the league. Obviously, you win less games, and you know, on a game basis, I think obviously the Europa League, you've only got last 16 games, quarter-final games, semi-final games. You've only got to win 6 games, and you're in the Champions League, really. So fucking hell, that's quite impressive. But you got to win 6 games. Moyes only went to win 5 games in the league, so. You know what I mean? Dean Garner scored 2 in 2, surely better than Ings. Yeah, but that was like hindsight's a great thing, Matthew. And I thought £19 million though, so we paid more for him. I think most youth will be on loan rather than our squad. I think next year's gonna be interesting to see with the likes of Flynn going, and obviously people like Ben Rama. I think we'll see. But it's the right move. It's got to be the right move. The kids are playing tomorrow, actually. Under-21s are playing at Rush Green. Should be a good one. I'll be there on the 1s and 2s. So looking forward to that. Obviously, we've got a number of them out there in Freiburg today in the matchday squad or in the squad because of the squad, the B squad option. So the likes of Kaylin Casey's out there. I think I saw George Earthy out there. Lewis Orford, Ollie Scars. There's a group of about 4 or 5 of them. Divine out there as well. They're the sort of ones on the peripherals. But I mean, it'd be lovely to get. But wouldn't it be lovely to like it won't happen. But like a good old. Could you imagine like 5-0 or something like that tonight, and put the kids out next week? That'd be fucking amazing, wouldn't it? We know it won't happen. The kids themselves are in the semi-finals of the Premier League Invitational Cup. They play PSV Eindhoven in the semi-finals. That'd be good. Without a doubt, the best use of the word fuck and fucking I've ever heard. When? What did I say? Let me know. I can't remember. No one was upset when we sold Dean Garner. Irons, whoever decided to sell Metzer should not be making a decision. I think it was the agent, IT, to be honest. I don't think it had much to do with it. By what I've heard, I don't think there was much choice from the club on that. That's the way I see it. Wrong move. Totally. Total glamour move. And, we'll talk about it more at the in the Academy show on Monday. But Carlos Corbana, the West Brom manager, sort of has spoken quite openly about Callum Marshall. There's loads of potential, but he just can't give him minutes at the moment. Waste of time. Might as well be here. And playing, be on the bench for tonight or whatever. I expect JDP to start as he was at. I do and I don't, I think, Michael. I think Phillips will start. I think Phillips and Alvarez will both start as like a double pivot. And I think it'll be one of Souček or JWP. It could be JWP and Souček given a rest if they play Mickey up front, which I think they might do. And not risk, because Moyes was asked about Paqueta yesterday, and he said, "Oh yeah, he's come back from injury, but he's making a big impact." Whether he'll keep throwing him in or whether he'll sort of give him a little rest tonight or put him on the bench, I don't know. We'll wait and see. We've already had the luck of the draw in Europe. Yeah, we did. Fair point, mate. However, I feel Ben offers us more as a utility player. Remember when Antonio joined us left wing that a bit? The only place he played was not goalkeeper, indeed. Ben Johnson on number 9 next season, indeed. Villa winning and top 4 would help us to qualify. It would. But also we need to make sure. But we need to, in terms of helping, we need to make sure that we, or a lot of the English teams, get to the latter stages, get past the last 16 and quarters and semis and stuff like that, because that helps the coefficient score. So it helps in terms of where we can go in at. So if I think Villa win, say, even if they win the conference and top 4, even in Europe, or even get into the Europa League, I think via the league, that will go. The place will drop down one. So 8th could be Conference League. However, whether that goes in at the qualifier stage or the group stages is dependent on the coefficient score, I think. So we'll see. If we lose, no, we don't. We're out. We're out. If we lose, we're out, my friend. So taking Benny and Tilo Cornet. Hopefully, Tim takes some notes. Looking at homegrown isn't a bad thing, but we need to really. We need them. You know, we've been linked with a lot of championship players. He said you've got obviously in Peterborough. Ronnie Edwards, Leif Davies, Jonathan Rowe. We've been linked with Hayden Hackney from Middlesbrough. We've been linked with the whole centre half as well, young centre half. So we'll see. The Germans and Italians going out will help us also. Indeed, I think last year we were like the whole of France was supporting us when we played AZ Alkmaar, because if by getting to the final, it meant that the Dutch Federation wouldn't take that last spot. And actually, because of us getting to the final of the Conference League, the French FA got another Champions League spot or something like that. It was quite funny. Hope we still use Antonio from the bench. What's your thoughts? Definitely an impact signing, but I think we might give him some minutes starting tonight. But that's just me. I have no information about it, just assuming it. Sorry, I'm late. Don't worry. Sit at the back, and we'll catch up later. Catch up what you've missed out. Can we have 6 in the Champions League? No, I don't think we can. I think the most we can have is 5. And if I think that is the most you can have is 5, I think. But don't forget the Champions League and all the leagues. It's changing next year. So next year changes into a league format where you'll have you won't play in a group as such. You'll play in a league, and you still have. I think Europa and Champions League, you have 8 games. I think Conference, you have 6 games, and every game matters. So it's a league system. So it's not like you win your group and you do that. It's also how well you win as well, because if you scrape a 1-0 win or you win 3-0, you'll be higher up in the league, and so it's all about that and placement. So it's all very strange. Check it out. There's a crap way of explaining it on Twitter. I think BT Sport did it. Don't worry, we'll keep the homegrown by keeping Crest as a player coach. Exactly. He'll be registered as a player to count. Wahoo, be top of the league next season then. We will be. I tell you, we'll be top of the league if all these bloody clubs get done for PSR. There's about half a dozen clubs up for potentially for PSR next year. Who is it? Where is it? I did the list. So the list so far of teams risking at failing for 23-24 this season, FFP PSR. At the moment on the watch list, Chelsea, Villa, Newcastle, Wolves, Everton, Forest, Leicester if promoted, Leeds if promoted. So that's 3, 4, 5. That's 4, 5. That's 8 teams. We'll be top of the league. And throw Man City in there as well. We'll win the league just by not buying anyone. Brilliant. Love it. If we lose Johnson, Crest, and Barmer, Downs, and possibly the Ings, that's a lot of English players to replace. It is indeed Irish Tommy, and that's why I think you'll see a few of the academy be pushed up into the squads. And that's why you also, because the fact is, and the thing is, people, Tim is aware of this happening. He knows about the quota, so there will be a procedure in place to ensure we're sort of covering all our bases. That's probably why I've been linked with so many Championship and League One players recently. That's why we should soon be about to employ an head of academy recruitment for that exact reason, because I think you'll see the importance of the academy within the match day squad. I mean, at the moment, if you look at the squad now, I know they won't get any minutes, but on the bench, the last couple of games, we've had 3, 4 academy players on the bench. And part of that is to keep the bloody things up, to get the old quotas up. Should be fine if Heggie and Orford and get added. Yeah, but Heggie will probably go out back on low. Actually, Heggie next year might not, because they might. I think Trott and Anang both come out of their contracts run out this summer. I think Trott might stay with Vizbay. Someone did tell me how to pronounce it properly. And and I think Heggie could come in and be that third choice goalkeeper. Orford, Potts. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see Freddie go back out on loan to Wickham because he's had such a good time, and I don't know whether he'll get sufficient minutes to help his progress. Maybe Marshall. I said Marshall's going to score goals wherever he plays, wherever team he plays for. Orford, yeah, I think you'll see. I think so. That's why I think there'll be a balancing act between sending some out on loan and bringing some. And as I said, in the 18s, there's some great players coming through already. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Keep an eye on Erdris Golombekis. I'm telling you now, Erdris Golombekis is going to be effing mustard. This lad he is brilliant. He's got hair like that bloke who in the soap advert while we used to sing on for Redbone Bubbles, curly brown hair, curly blonde hair, and he's 16 and he's a baller. And Jacob Knightbridge, the goalkeeper for the 21s, he is going to be an England goalkeeper. That boy, he is brilliant. He's like a young British version of Edison. He could play midfield. Honestly, I think Man U have done something similar with a team. Yep, they did with Tom Huddleston. I think we would probably do the same with Cress just to keep those numbers. Would be great if kept a clean sheet, but not confident we will. Indeed, their stadium is called the Wolfswinkel. It is indeed the Wolfswinkel in Freiburg, which is part of the Black Forest. Hence my Black Forest. I couldn't say Gatto, but battle. That's why I called it. You see. Only a few of you could play early. Most couldn't start in the Premier League. It's different for me. And I've said that. I think it's different between the Premier League and Europa League. And people say, he hasn't, he's all this stuff. But the fact is, we have given a load of academy players their debut in these matches. But the fact is, we've qualified for these matches. If we weren't in Europe, we wouldn't be playing with these. And if we were in Europe, we might have not bought so many better players. And so maybe the kids would have played more of the league. You just don't know. Hindsight's a great thing. But that sounds good. When did the PSR info come into? As there's more than that's for the stuff for the Forest. That was the stuff from the previous year. That was the 20. I think that was the 22-23 accounts for this year, and that is apparently going to be that's Forest. I think it's Forest Everton. I think someone said Luton, but I don't quote me. That apparently is going to be that's going to be the outcome of that is got to be done before the 8th of April. But then, according to Penn, we heard from Toffee's TV on last week, he said that they then can appeal that. So the appeal would then be held a week after the Premier League is finished. If you have no doubt, but on the effort, yep. Exactly, Irish Tommy. Exactly. So Villa, Emery's doing it, but they're going to be on the watch list. They're going to have to stop. They have to stop buying and start selling soon. Chelsea as well. I mean, Chelsea are the same. They spent £1 billion worth of players. They've got 100-something charges. Man City, they're on the watch list as well, really, because they've got 150 charges. It's ridiculous, mate. We shouldn't be shopping in the Championship to make numbers up. We should be pushing through our game. If they're good enough, Gaz, I'll be honest, if they're good enough, I think sometimes we have and I've said this before, sometimes we have as I said, a bit like FIFA, they have like an attributes card, like a 20 attributes card because they're academy player. Sometimes they're good, but sometimes I don't think they're as good as we think they are. And that's the difference between when you play against your peers, which is what a lot of our kids do, compared to playing in the Championship or playing out on loan. And so someone like Freddie Potts in the midfield, League One, playing against some really experienced midfielders, he's doing brilliant. Callum's not getting any minutes practically. 20 minutes here, he's getting absolutely nothing because I think it's far too big of a leap for him. Gideon's just starting to get some minutes. Not setting the world up against some minutes. Kean Forson's having a great time, but he's playing in the National League for Daggers. Dan Chesters is playing all right at the moment for Salford. He's got into the side. A couple of games, he played right back and right wing. So I think sometimes we might have better players. It might be better to go out and buy players than maybe in terms of what can push through because they're ready made. If they're playing the Championship, they're already at a level already. And they've played a number of first team games. It's different, but I agree. If they're good enough, you should be pushing them through. But sometimes I don't think some of our players are good enough. I'll be honest. It isn't based on sales in and out. It's based on levels of debt as well, basically. So in terms of your income, how much debt you can, in terms of how much debt you can accumulate over a 3-year period. And this year would have been the first year outside of COVID, so that's why everyone's a bit shit themselves. Total is total not net over 150. Yeah, indeed. Might be. He could indeed, and I think he still has plenty of room to bulk up slightly. Yeah, I agree. We will beat the Hermans. Whatever 50p does not work, it punishes clubs trying to compete. I totally agree. Youngsters will never get a chance on the Moyes. Only uses the suits into S players and dead rubbers. He has no interest in developing anyone. Irish Tommy, never. So he's never at the He's never at the youth team games. Whereas Pellegrini was at everyone, wasn't he? No, he wasn't. And Slaven was at everyone, wasn't? No, he wasn't. The only ones who were at anyone of all of them was Redknapp, and he was at every game. And his first team representation at every game I've been to under 21s. Sometimes it's Moyes. Usually it might be Billy McKinley, might be Mark Robertson. But there's always a first teamer, manager there, coach, making copious loads of notes and urging them all on. But I agree, they don't push them through into the Premier League. And I spent a lot of breath talking about that, how I think it's not just an inherent West Ham thing. Yes, there's some clubs that do it, but it's not just a West Ham thing. It's a Premier League issue compared to someone like La Liga. We've spoken about it millions of times. Bring back Combinate. That's the trick. That is it. That is how you get more people in, more kids in. You get the Combinations League back. You scrap this. You play in the same age group until you're 20, until the 21s, and even then you're in 21s until then you'll go into the first team. That's what you got to do. You got to scrap it, scrap the Premier League, bring back the old reserve league. That would also mean that the likes of a Fornals, a Benrahma, if they weren't playing in the home game for the Premier League game, they could be turning out for the reserves, at least getting minutes in their legs. So when you need them, they're ready to roll. That's the issue. I'm talking quotas, not buying in. Just make up. No, yeah, agreed. Totally agree. Fast 29 to 21s is about growing and developing. I totally agree. On a technical basis, the under 21s are fantastic. They are just as good as a lot of others, but it's the physicality. You don't get that when you're playing against your peers. When you're playing against, big, burly, mid 30s, like bash them up, centre halves, that's when you start growing up. Who was that young thug he gave a day? Indeed. Russ, don't tell me about the labour pains. Just show me the baby. That's because Harry is a good hammer, is he? But again, when Redknapp was here, that was the late 90s. Now the influx of this, and don't forget, then he went a bit crazy and brought all the foreign players in. Then he went and brought the Radachoys in and the Dimitrescu's and the Boogers. So then the game changes, and it has changed. But can you speak up? I can't hear you at the back of the class. Well, you turned up late, so that's why you sat at the back. Get here early and sit at the front. Thank you very much. But yeah, no, I totally agree. And there was definitely some slides a long while ago about looking at all the youth team players that we'd brought through in terms of, and then went on to play in the Premier League. And there was literally like 4 in about 40 names. It was ridiculous. It was quite clearly, have I got it? No, that wasn't it. Oh, I'm going to have to find that. And then we'll come back to that another day, because that was really interesting. Why have I deleted that? What an idiot. Oh, what a shame. I've got it somewhere. I'll have it somewhere saved. But that was really interesting because it basically showed, where it's always, now it's just, wasn't that many we've let through. Thing is, Russ Redknapp was told he had no choice but to use. And don't forget, that's the same as Chelsea. So the reason why Chelsea have got players in, they've got academy players, so to speak, in their team, is because when Lampard was taken over, not here, when he was over there, they couldn't buy anyone. So he had to bring in like Chalobah, had to bring Conor Gallagher, had to bring Reece James, had to look at bringing in Brozier and people like that to fill in the squad because they couldn't buy anyone. Now they've bought, £1 million worth of £1 billion worth of players. Are Chelsea bleeding through academy players, new ones? No, the likes of Gallagher's in there, Reese, but they're well established now. They've got a few hundred games under their belt. They're not bringing anyone else in, are they? I went to see West Ham under-21s versus Chelsea's under-21s 2 weeks ago. They had a £16 million striker up front, David Washington from Santos. David Washington. That's how to pronounce it. David Washington. Chelsea had a £16 million striker up front for their under-21s. That just shows you the amount of money they're employing in terms of bringing in. That's not bringing in the academy. There's a guy, it was called Ronnie Worcester, I think was a striker who scored. They beat us. I think it was 2-1. He was brilliant. So much better than this David Washington. And I guarantee David Washington gets more game time, first team game time, than this Ronnie bloke did. Mark my words. Marco Buga's proved every point ever made about the worst. Well, he was the one, wasn't he? Redknapp openly admitted was the one that he saw just on the video. Absolutely brilliant. Get all the first team, the age groups training in the same camp. That might inspire the youngsters. That could be happening sooner rather than later, Mark. According to X, according to several others, we are looking at getting a new training facility. Rush Green is not great, as we know, and we're looking for a big plot. So that could potentially suggest that maybe we do something, a combination where we, Channel Heath, they all used to train, whether we do something with a bigger one. They're looking, I think it's Basildon at the moment, a few other big areas to basically turn into a new training facility. So that is on the agenda, but I don't know how long that's going to be. Expecting to be is ridiculous. That's why we need him to be introduced properly to the first team squad and developed. Honestly, don't think Moyes can or will do it, says Irish Tommy. I think honestly, to be fair, Tommy, I think we know like Moyes is always been under extreme pressure. Not just Moyes, every Premier League manager. So they tend to, not saying across the board, but tend to stick to what they know to ensure they get, any manager is six defeats in a row away from being sacked. So yes, I agree. When we're in a situation where we're winning, I think it's right. We've only given, out of the 17 players he's given first team debuts to in terms of academy players, only one was in the Premier League, which was Jeremy Ngakia playing right back against Liverpool, against fucking Salah. That's so that makes absolutely no sense, doesn't it? In terms of, throwing people in. He had to do it with him. I think Bowen was the worst buy ever. I think no, not at all, because I think he was a good player. It's just didn't work out. He was homesick. We interviewed John Moncur a while ago, and he signed John. John signed at the same time as Joey, and Joey told him, God rest his soul, because he passed away, that he didn't like it and he was going to leave. I think he was on the team bus to like a friendly game. Was he any good? No, not particularly. Didn't. Considering he's 16 million pounds worth of player, I thought he wasn't very good. He was average, really. Next show, worst ever signs. We have given you 2. Oh, well, we've done that before. We've done stuff like that. 25 worst transfer stuff. We might do it. We might revisit it. Maybe we'll revisit it again over the summer transfer window. I think they called it the 25 transfer worst 20. I've got the 15 worst transfer. Let's see if I can find it, and I'll put a link into it. Yeah, I'll put it in there. There's something for you to watch. There we go. So that's the 15 worst, according to me, and hard to keep it to 15, to be honest. But we went for the likes of Boogers, Kieran Dyer, Rigobert Song, Roberto, obviously Boogers, Benny McCarthy, Freddie Lundberg. We've had our fair share of really bad signings. Gary Breen, Roger Johnson. So check that out. It's quite fun. Still not something dodgy went on. It certainly did, as we said. Xavier's father-in-law was Gianluca Nani. No, godfather. was Gianluca Nani, who was our director of football at the time. And so there was something dodgy going on there, that's for sure. And one of my greatest ever memories of Upton Park was singing karaoke with Scott Duxbury and Gianluca Nani. That will go me to the grave, that story. Absolutely brilliant. That was so much fun. I love these lives. I was going to talk all about Freiburg. We're going to talk about Gianluca Nani in 2024, about 20 years ago. Ridiculous. Why is Moy so ageist? I think it's experienced this rather than ageist, but that's just my opinion. The consequence of blooding in the youth is ridiculous. If it pays off, brilliant. If it doesn't, no. And I think, the is more of an issue than if it's, well done, you paid a kid. Do you know what I mean? Who's he really appeasing? Is he more likely to get a result if he puts in an experienced player than if he puts in a youthful player? Might be actually youthful exuberance might be better, might be more less likely to get nervous, or can just go out and play. You don't know. I think the reason is simple is results driven. It can be thought for the pressure you apply to the job. I think that's in general how, to be honest. I think most football managers are results driven. I mean, they get bonuses based on how well the side does. Same as you as a job. Me as a job, I get a bonus if I get more sales than I'm meant to get. Or if I get the sales I get a bonus. If I get more sales, then I get more bonus. So actually, it's about making sure I get more sales. If every manager was completely unlikely to be the West Ham way, indeed. Sanchez, yeah, Nigel Quasi was decent for a year. Buzzing for tonight. Interesting to see how they set up for revenge. Quasi was rubbish. Oh, Nigel Quasi. Wayne Quinn. Good old Wayne. Hopefully get him on sooner, actually. He wasn't that rubbish, but we should have we've got a few ex-players lined up soon. One's never been on the channel, so I'm looking forward to that. And a couple of guys who have been on the channel like once, but we're getting them back on to have a bit of a chat, a bit of a Q&A, because they come from very different walks of life in terms of West Ham. One being signed relatively towards the end of his career, and one being an academy player who came in and still involved in the club as well. So Yannick Catan as well. Obviously, did we buy him to try and keep Yoshi happy, because he was from the same old club as Yoshi, wasn't he? I think. Where is Scott Duxbury? He was at Watford. He was MD at Watford, wasn't he, for a while? Let's have a look. What's he up to? Not who's Scott Dudd? I don't know. Come on, that's it. Thank you, Scott. Oh, what's going on there, John? Scott Duxbury. Where is he? Is he still at Watford? Yeah, it looks like he's still at Watford. Still CEO. There we go. I liked Edouard Cisse, the Frenchman. Yeah, we went for a spade, didn't we? We had some quite good. I always liked Antonio Chirino. We never really got enough out of him. He was only a loan spell, but he was always very classy. He was Valan Brahmi and players like that. Loved him. Yeah, we did get him on loan. Did we get him on loan from Portsmouth? Or did he go to Portsmouth afterwards? Didn't Harry take him to Portsmouth? Wasn't Scott a porn star like that? Shh, it's my alter ego. David Bellion. Yeah, David Bellion. Yeah, do you remember? From Man United, Jeremy's not really. I've spoken to him. He's not really up for a West Ham chat. I mean, he was only here very shortly on loan. He's more of an Arsenal boy in it. So there we go. At least we didn't sign Ali Dyer. Soonish will never live it down. Indeed, signing a George Weir's mate. Apparently, it was Freiburg that put the banners out. Is not the same without fans. They might regret that tonight. Indeed, yes, they did. So obviously, last time we played in Freiburg. Obviously, there was no fans as part of the ban, and so there'll be fans there tonight for sure. It was a weird game because I think actually, because a few people I know went there, not as West Ham fans technically, and they said it was really weird. I think I remember Martin sent me some stuff. He was in the press room doing some stuff, and like the goal happened and there was like no sound, like nothing. Very weird indeed. Very weird. Mackie Highfield on loan. Yes. Yeah, you have started something, but I love it. Ben Rama didn't stop running. Indeed. What an engine. What an engine, that boy. Clyde Best. What a lovely man Clyde Best is. Beautiful man. Glad we didn't get to Roma too. Oh, that's awful. That's awful. That's really sad. But the thing is, we'll have the Lazio guys with us, though, wouldn't we? The Lazio West Ham, yeah, that Paradicano, it's all set up. Nicholas Alexanderson, Championship. Oh, great player, wasn't he? Great player. Great blonde hair. Nico Alexanderson. Lars Jakobsen as well, the right back from Bolton, I think it was. That was really good. He was a good Scandinavian fullback. Love it. What we got here? Will you be at the game? Of course I will. Be on the old 1s and 2s on Sunday as well. We'll try and have match day morning, Sunday morning, before the game to get you in the mood if you're going to the Burnley game. If you're not, feel like you are part of it. That's what we do on a Sunday morning. We do match day morning at the ground. The only one we won't do, probably don't do it next Thursday because it's a 5:45 kickoff. And actually, I'll be working before I have my half day, so I won't be able to do it until after. So I'll go straight there because it's like a ridiculous time, isn't it? I've got to be like this time next week. Got to be there like now to start. That's ridiculous. See, we have another dodgy ref. Oh, indeed. How many has-beens did we sign from Arsenal when they were finished with them? Oh. Well, Liam Brady wasn't a has-been. That's for sure. He wasn't, but we didn't sign from Arsenal, so to speak. We had played for Arsenal. Yeah, quite a few, obviously. Don't forget loan spells. Manuel Almunia, the goalkeeper. Lots of play. Ian Wright wasn't really past it, but obviously we'd signed him towards the end of his career. Did he go Burnley after us? I think. Jeremy, we got on loan, didn't we? Henry Lansbury, friend of the channel. Yeah, Rami. He didn't play. I don't think he played. I think we signed him on loan, but we didn't. I'll be at the FREIBURG. Yes, Tommy. Rock on, Tommy. Davor Suker, Winterburn. Yeah, indeed. We went through a spate, didn't we? A real spate of just like using Arsenal players. Technically, it might happen again. Apparently we're having a proper look at Emil Smith for the summer. Ali I heard a thing about speakers were playing crowd noise when they played, so the atmosphere sounding better. No. So during are you talking about COVID? When we played, obviously I was at the games during COVID. There was no sound. We didn't play any fake crowd noises. That was all superimposed by the broadcasters. The only thing we did do was we played goal music. We played goal music because otherwise, so that was the only time I've agreed to play goal music was there. Johnny Artson, yeah, Radford. Indeed, that's one for the old guys, Ken, in it. We still have one. Rami played in Bob's first game, a reserve game, the day after he signed it. It was the first fan to get his name on my shirt. Brilliant. Nikici Jelavic, part of the Slaven Bilic purge of buying anyone in that last summer, the last season of bowling, when we'd signed the likes of Lanzini, Payet, and we bought the likes of him. We got Emmanuel Amike on loan. Do you remember him? Carl Jenkinson, he came on loan, didn't he, from Arsenal? Yeah. And we had Reece Oxford playing centre midfield, didn't we? I'll be at the game in the Billy Bonds. I'll be at the other side. So look up, big white box. I'm there. And as you're looking at it from the Billy Bonds stand, far left, that's me. If you played the same song over and over, would you get in trouble? Yes. I'm 65. Happy birthday, Ken. Happy birthday to Ken, 65. Monumentous. It's the bus pass year, isn't it? Congratulations, Ken. And hopefully I'll have a word with Moyes and we'll get 3 points for your birthday. Luckily, scored some good goals for us and then shipped off to get in M&EK. Who was the forward the other year that scored a hat-trick for Arsenal? Yes, you are thinking about Schmack. Is it Schmack you're thinking about? That wasn't the last year, though. Samir Nasri, we got him, didn't we? Not really from Arsenal, but yeah. Fabianski, indeed. Yes, I got him. 66. This country, Ken. This country. Ken's got to wait another year. Unbelievable. Lucas. Indeed. Lucas Perez. Ah, brilliant. Love it. I love this stuff. Ilian. I liked Ilian. Ilian was a great player. And Midu. Don't forget about Guillermo Franco as well. He was brilliant. I'd loved him to stay for longer. Not COVID. I meant the guy as the atmosphere. Okay, I get you. Okay, I get you. Love it. Right, I'm going to have to go, peeps. I've absolutely loved today. And we'll do that. Maybe we'll just have one day. Oh, David Di Matteo. Oh, what a player. In Carlton Cole's all-time West Ham 11. He had a massive impact on Carlton Cole's career, David Di Matteo did. And Matt Upson. I'll keep my Matt Upson story for my memoirs. Yeah, brilliant. Maybe we just have like one day, and I'll come on and we'll just talk. We'll just call it like, I don't know, old players remembered or something like that. And we can just go through it. We'll take a year and we'll just talk about all the players, like, I don't know, or a period, or maybe we'll go like really random, like the Avram Grant here, and we'll talk about Manuel Pogatetz and stuff like that, and Roger Johnson and people like I love it. That's what I love about doing the Miami's 11s, because we interview people and you talk about all their stuff, and it's just great, and reminiscing. And as I said, we've got a few players coming up soon from different eras. We've got one from sort of the early 70s coming on in a few weeks' time. We've got one from sort of the mid 2000s, early 2000s. We've got one from the 2010s, and we've got a couple from 2010. So we've got sort of a few coming up. So yeah, it's all good. I liked Malfitano. Morgan Malfitano on loan from West Brom. Was he on loan? Did we get him on loan from, because he wasn't West Brom then? We bought him from a French side, didn't we? Alex Song. What a player. What do you think the score will be today? 2-0. No, can't afford him. You could do what we do. So when we have like the Arsenal, like if we do like an Arsenal fan, we'll do players. I always do, or like with Everton, we did like player Pictionary, which is quite funny. With players who played for both. But yeah, we'll you could do, yeah, I could do that. That'd be good. Or maybe we'll just do like connections. Like where they have that sort of like, can we get from da-da-da to da-da-da? And you have to work your way through to see if you can get from this person to that one. Be quite funny. Yeah, we've had Liam Brady. We spoke about him. Michael Hughes, friend of the channel. We've had all of them on. Michael Hughes, John Hartson, and Nigel Rico. Hello, Joby or Adam Ewan. You've also missed one out. You missed a couple. David Connolly, and you missed, at that time we forgot Adam Nolan. Do you remember Adam Nolan? We signed him as well. Tyrus Tommy makes it a 2-2. Desmond, I am going to win. I'm going to win tonight. 3 wins in a row. It was the other way around, same as John Hartson. We signed him from, I think it was Strasbourg. He was here. We've had Hughesy in the Budden bunker doing the interview. Lovely man. Couldn't get rid of him. Could not get rid of him. Even the mother-in-law offered to make him a sausage sandwich. Didn't have a clue he was. But he was here. We couldn't get rid of him because he was waiting for Kenny and Keith Rowland, because they live in Hornchurch and they were going to meet in a Costa. How the other half live for an afternoon Costa. Yeah, but you forgot Adam Nolan. Same as John Hartson, didn't he? Went from West Ham to Wimbledon. Or did he go? Because where was Palace in that? Did Hughesy go from Palace? Oh, I was just about to go. Oh, so annoying. Do you know he's co-owner of Carrick Rangers in the NIFL? West Ham, Wimbledon. He was on loan for us for 2 seasons from Strasbourg. Then he went to Wimbledon, on loan to Birmingham City. Then he went to Palace, where Palace he had the most amount of games for us for them. So, and Palace, then he played in the game at Cardiff, didn't he? Neil Shipley in the first playoffs that we lost to, if I remember. He did, but John Hartson, we sold Hartson to Wimbledon first, and then he went from Wimbledon to Celtic. We'll smash it tonight. Anyway, if you enjoy the little walk down memory lane, Gavin Williamson from Yeovil Town, what a player. One of the championship early 2000 players. There's a load of them, like Matt Taylor and the late great Papa Bouba Diop and Abu Abdullah Faye, Michael on loan. We had him on loan from Crystal Palace, centre half. West Ham, I can see him now. I can see his face. Big, like massive, like Crystal Palace centre half on loan. No. What's his name? That's going to really annoy me now. Nathan Trotwoody. Don't forget to like the video. No, not Malky Mackay. Daryl Powell. Yes! Get in there. 1 point for Budden. Callum Davenport, indeed. Weird one, wasn't he? 2 times he was here, wasn't he? Matty Jarvis, God bless him, friend of the channel. Malcolm Mackay. Yep. From Norwich. Nice to get 1-0 over there tonight. I totally agree. And I think if we come by with a positive result tonight, that's what we need. It'd be great to put a few goals, wouldn't it? Just for momentum going into the Burnley game, and maybe even then potentially on next Thursday, resting a few players for the Villa game. That's what I want us to do if we can. It'd be amazing, but we'll see. Anyway, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. Keep the faith, my friends. I'll be back with the not Hammers headlines, starting 11 show, a few hours time, doing the watch along, all that good stuff. Hope you enjoyed today, and I'll see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.